Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? How are you? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. Hope you're doing fantastic. It is Monday, 31st of July, last trading day of the month. Tomorrow makes August 1st, which is a Tuesday. Earnings season going to be wild and rambunctious this week, and I'm looking forward to it. SPY was kind of slow on the day overall, not a lot happening. We did make a higher high and a higher low, but really on the overall indices, nothing much to see other than the Dow crushing it, making new all-time highs again today. And the IWM had a little bit of a bearish day, pulling back some. Still a little bit of a lower shadow, not too much going down, but all things that end well look okay, at least as of right now. So there's a few things that we can look at today. I did not get any requests over the weekend, but I have plenty of stocks that we can look at. And I'll wrap up this review for you nice and quickly. So again, the broad market didn't really do much in the way of moving today. Let's go look at some earnings that a lot of people are excited about. Here's Shopify, SHOP. And Shopify got a few traders in some August put sales. So my buddy Matt and Thomas got some put sales expiring in August. Matt also has a $100 covered call for half of his position on ticker symbol SHOP. I know Ricky has some $80 calls he's holding over earnings. Here's the 100 simple moving average, and again, earnings right around the corner. So the thing about this one, I really don't know exactly what's going to happen, obviously. But my guess, if we trade down to this support, which is around 83, should be more bullish than bearish. The only way I'd specifically be pretty bearish on Shopify is if we gap down below 80. And then, of course, if we open above the high of this candle right there, Shopify's gone to the moon. The high of that candle, $180. My 2017 target has been hit a few times on Shopify, actually, but my next target is 106.88. The longer we trade sideways, though, the higher I'm going to make that target, because if and when we do break out of what appears to be an obvious distribution phase that's actually making higher lows and lower highs, when and if we break out of this, we're going to rock and roll. So that's kind of my thoughts on Shopify. Square also having earnings this week, I do believe. And here's the daily chart on Square. Some high wave candles, looks a little flaggish. So here's the last 2 days, looks a little flag worthy with this giant bear drop, and maybe we get something like this. But again, on Square, if we gap down above 22, so if we gap down above 22, I'll be looking to buy the dip on Square. If we gap down really slightly, like right here at 25, so just below the low of these wicks right here, if we gap down there, I'll expect a little bit of selling, but again, probably buy the dip around, you guessed it, 22. Here's the exponential moving averages on ticker symbol SQ, and the EMAs look good. The 50 is right around 2407. So this one's going to all depend on the gap, because again, if it gaps above this bearish candle on earnings, Square is off to the races, just like its last earnings gap, which was a very nice bullish gap and go. Ever since then, we haven't really looked back. Apple obviously coming out with earnings also this week, and Apple is going to be an electrifying earnings season. I expect them to miss earnings, probably Wall Street going to estimate around, a 54 billion something in revenue, and they'll probably get $53.95 billion, and people go, oh no, where's that 110 million going? And so they'll probably miss, they'll probably gap down a little bit. This is just a guess, pure coin flip. And we'll probably trade down to around 142. Now, as long as Apple does not gap down below 142, I will remain bullish to neutral on it. This could be a really fun channel on earnings. Then, of course, if we get a gap action, but we gap above the all-time high, anyone who shorted Apple the last 3 days will be horrendously trapped, along with all the people who shorted into here. I don't expect that to happen, because that would just really be too easy. But if it does gap up there, I'm going to buy something that rhymes with a lot of call options. So we'll just kind of see how it gaps, where it moves, what it does, and go about it from there. And last but not least for today, let's go look at actually two more. Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson. So I looked about this one last week and talked about it as a morning star reversal pattern down here at that support. That's exactly what it formed. It had a cute little bit of a gap today. So here's the 5-minute chart. Now I didn't play this on Johnson & Johnson, but figured I'd bring it up to show you how you could have played it as a retest gap. So this is the 5-minute chart. Had a little bit of a bullish gap and go in the 5-minute. Ran up, retest. That's number one buying opportunity. And if you didn't buy there, there's your Morningstar reversal. Very nice highs, entry right there, stop right below it. Solid trade on Johnson & Johnson if you day trade that one. I didn't, but there were a lot of good trades out there today. And last but not least, here's DVAX. I did look at this trade a lot this morning, and it gapped right into a resistance. Let me show you the resistance. This thing was up 80%. There was a lot of people excited about this one, but we really didn't do very much because you couldn't short it. So here's the resistance. So it gapped right to this resistance area. And what's going to happen from here? I mean, more than likely, we trade bearish to neutral for a while because anyone who bought in there is selling for a profit, for sure. Up 80% in one day. That's a big deal. It is a bullish gap and go, yes, but the percentage of this gap is just massive. So if you took this trade bullish and I'm trying to figure out why it didn't work, honestly, it's just the size of the gap. That's pretty much it. And it's a big deal. Chris Jones just emailed me a few minutes ago. He wanted to look at Tesla. So Chris, I got your gift. I appreciate it. More info coming on that on Wednesday, but Chris is just blowing my mind right now with his overall awesomeness. So here's Tesla, and Tesla down 3% today coming into earnings. So again, Tesla, what is it going to do on earnings? Don't know. Probably misses on earnings. They're burning through cash in a big way. But my thought is if we gap up on earnings, again, if we open above this area, preferably below 370 and above 348, we gap in that area, I'm not buying put options. If we gap in that area, that'd be a great bullish gap and go. I'm expecting a hammer or something off the 100 simple moving average here, probably to create some higher lows and relative highs. If we gap down, I mean, the only way I'll consider some bearish moves on Tesla is if we gap down below 291.42. If we gap down there, I'll consider some bearish moves. If we gap down below the low of this candle, I might look for some shorter term bearish moves. It'll probably trade to the 200 and then we bounce. Long term, Tesla is just a very innovative stock, very innovative company. Got just a genius at the helm. So longer term, obviously bullish on Tesla. I think a lot of people have some shares and just kind of holding it for the long haul. But I'm excited to see how this thing gaps. I don't necessarily expect a gap that large to happen, a gap up in that area right there. But if it does, man, hold on to your blue suede shoes. That thing could be a runner. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in to your Monday Real Life Stock Review. I'll have another review for you on Wednesday, and then one more on Friday. The next week, I'll be on hiatus, enjoying a little bit of Germany. Folks, you're amazing. Thanks so much for tuning in. You guys rock. And until next time, love life, and trade it. I hope your July was amazing. Make sure to post some of your progress, results, updates, and numbers in the comment section below. You can also email me how you did for July. Let's get pumped, excited, and ready for August. You guys rock.